This
So
conference
I've
will
given
now be recorded.
1 second. I have given so many corporate trainings. Okay, so let's go to our session. So LBN stands for the Logistic Business Network, wherein which it is a replica of, or it is a replacement of the Career Collaboration Portal. Okay, wherein which it was. I hope most of the people are aware of SAP Transportation Management Business Suite, right? So where we used to have one of the mod a component called network component, which is called the Career Collaboration Portal, but unfortunately that was supporting only for road. Okay, but this particular one, which is gonna be the LBN, is gonna support me the not only the road perspective, it is also gonna support me in terms of the rail, in terms of the ocean and air as well. Okay, now when it comes to LBN, right, what is that we're gonna learn is that, right, we're gonna learn about the what is the motivation for getting into LBN. Okay, and what all the network based collaboration, who are all the carriers, who are all the partners can be enabled, onboarded. Okay, how does the network based collaboration has been came. Next thing will be the onboarding part. Okay, in the second one, where we will be onboarding the, if I'm a solution, I'm a DM owner, right, so how will, as a shipper, how do I will get onboarded onto SAP transportation LBN network. Okay, that's a shipper tenant. So then how do we gonna onboard the carriers? In terms of, there are two types of onboarding processes will be there. If it is for a test tenant, right, there is a separate subtenant or test tenant we need to create for ship carriers, this which is called a carrier tenant, which is a sub component of that main shipper tenant. For supporting that one, we will be using that one. If it is in a live environment, live, we don't need to do, create a separate tenant. We can directly onboard the carriers by sending the invitation. So based on the invitation, carrier will accept that one, and they will be created, they will be onboarded onto this one. Okay, that is for the existing ones. If there is a new carrier which I wanted to be onboarded, right, so I have to go for an onboarding process, where the LBN team will be checking the cross checking the duplicacy, and they will onboard that one. The second thing is that the connectivities. Okay, how do we make the connectivity? Because to connect to LBN, right, we need to have TM to LBN will be connected through two interfaces. One is the SOA manager, second one is the CPI. Because LBN is in a cloud, right? So we have to connect through a CPI. So how do we make a connectivity above between them? Then when it comes to the module 4, then that's where we are going to have different sort types of LBN components. So we have four components normally in LBN. There is also a fifth component which is in process now. The first component will be a freight collaboration. As I said, that it is a replica or a replacement of the freight collaboration. Okay, collaboration portal for carriers, which is there in business suite. Now there we do have some more informations like that, the freight contracting, in the sense we are going to have the tendering part, confirmation, sending and confirmation. Apart from that one, what we have is that a doc scheduling, where in which we can create the doc scheduling. Okay, slot booking, cancellation and rescheduling. Third one is the visibility perspective. We can do the visibility execution, freight order execution. We can do the reporting as well. So from there as well, even if we can also, if we have an integration with the visibility service provider like the P44 clear metal, right, we will be able to see that one as well. The fourth one will be the freight settlement documents. How do we create the settlements, right? We can have a career invoicing creation in the system, and we can create the disputes as well. Again, here as well, there are two set of things are there. One is that the LB, TM should create the disputes, or LBN should create a dispute. Okay, two things are within. So if you are asking, if you are wanting the system to LBN to take care of that one, in this case disputes will be created. Once the final dispute is resolved, that amount will flows back to freight order. If you are asking, if you don't want to store the data in LBN because it's in cloud, you want to have it, everything should be in TMS, then in this case you do have an option to turn off that one. Then it will be able to give that values, every value and disputes and everything will be there in the freight order itself. Okay, that's it. Apart from that one, there is some other add-ons also there, like you have something called experience management. Okay, we have something called a notification, etc., etc. Those ones will be able to give you the notification about the tendering, about the RFQs, okay, about the invoicing. All these things will be, they will be able to get the notification, as well as we will also get the experience management. If you are aware about the Qualtrics, right, which is one of the one for the surveys, right? So using the qualities as well, we will be able to get the experience. Okay, how does the carrier is performing? Okay, those things we will be able to give that to carrier, so that we can give the performance part. We can track their performance. The fifth module, what we have is that the GTT. So GTT stands for Global Track and Trace. So wherein which it is a replica, or it is a replacement of your event management. Okay, now, when it comes to GTT, we have different models. One is the standard template model. First one was the template model. Second one was the standard model. Third one is the external integration. Okay. So normally we models are only two models: standard and template model. And the external integration, these are all the visibility service providers onboarding onto the system, so that they can provide us the information on that. So when it comes to standard models, right, SAP provide the model to us. The coding, everything will be given by SAP, so that anything is global to SAP. Okay, that is standard. And we do have some more enhancement and capabilities that we can add. Any field or anything needs to be added, right? The custom enhancement we can made on that one. The second one is the template based model. That the based model is that we can create the models by ourselves into TMS, wherein which it needs DevOps knowledge. So based on which, right, we will be able to create our own models. Okay, so everything from scratch, even UI, the service connection, everything we need to be there. So based on that one, based on these, there are standard SAP provided templates are been there. Based on those ones, we can able to create our models. Okay. Third one is the connectivity to external systems. Okay, so since in GTT, right, there will be someone to provide me the live information. How do we get the live information, live data, live vehicle tracing part, right? How do we get that? That is from the external service provider. How do we maintain external connections? There is another one thing is called the onboarding. So that's called intelligence insights. So intelligence insights is nothing but the, as you are aware that, right, the Suez Canal incident happened last year, right? So where in which because of the some evergreen ship, the whole global world logistics has been impacted for a few days, right? So because of that one, right, there was something where the SAP has created that if any in any case, if there is an issue happens, right, so we need to notify that what is happened and what is alternative action to be taken, right? For that perspective, this global intelligence insights has came, which is going to be the add-on for, this is not a separate model, this is going to be an add-on for freight collaboration as well as intelligence GTT. Okay, again this works on a SAC. This is only a dashboard kind of a reporting perspective. It works on SAC, SAP Cloud Analytics. Okay, if you have that account, then this will be activated, and we need to have some subscription. Based on the subscription, automatically we will be able to do that one. Only thing is that we need to create our dashboards and KPIs. Okay, here as well we have an existing we have some integrations with the service providers, where we will get the location information, risk information, right? The risk information, everything we used to get from the third party uh, service providers. Okay, and the last one is the whatever is the innovations are going to happen in 2023, those we're going to discuss, as well as the roadmap. Okay, fourth one is that there is an insights on the trade collaboration document. Okay, there is something called SAP trade collaboration. So as you are aware that we are going um, for the logistics world, right, we are going to deal with many, in case of export and import, we are going to deal with many parties, right, where we need to have the documentation of the bill of lading, letter of credit, financial documents, etc., etc. All of them needs to be there. So there should be one document, one source of truth. We should have all the data, right? So for that perspective, this trade collaboration one will be there, where everybody can be onboarded onto the document and they can share the document on the platform, which will be using the blockchain technology. Okay, for that perspective, trade collaboration platform is there. That is an LBN trade collaboration platform that is in built now. The fourth one, the fifth, the last module is a material traceability. So which will give you the traceability of the material products, right, from where to where this is being procured. Okay, from the child batch to the master batch, from the raw material to the finished goods, right, whatever hasn't happened, all this will be traced with the help of the blockchain technology. So hope you people, if you are aware of the GTT, sorry, global batch traceability, right, it's a kind of a same thing, where in which it's an add-on, we will be able to identify that one. So when it comes to LBN, right, simply saying it's a cloud platform where everybody will be involved. Okay, it's a multi-party environment. So where you can see that here, all the shippers, carrier, customer, freight forwarder, suppliers, everybody will be onboarded, and these are the capabilities. Okay, so intelligence inside is inside this one. That's the reason I haven't kept that separate. Okay, so all these ones will be onboarded here to exchange the data and volumes, transactions, right? So and these are the models it is going to support me. Got my point? Now in an LBN, so in this cloud, right, since this is an SAP one, right? So SAP is going to be the owner of this database. All these things will be there with SAP database only. So we are going to be, the shippers are also going to be onboarded, as well as carriers are also going to be onboarded, as well as the B2B specific carriers. Okay, even I can do an external planning with the with this LBN only. I can do the freight tracking. Okay, subcontracting, everything will be done by these ones. Okay, you can see the B2B integrations for the confirmation of the shipping liners, airlines. Okay, you can do for the subcontracting perspective, we can do it from the visibility perspective, like the project 44, Shipado, Clear Metal, all these ones will be there in onboarded. Okay, to get the real-time visibility. So it is open to everyone. So in this freight collaboration, we are going to see that freight order collaboration, where in which how do we send the details to the LBN for the tendering perspective for the RFQ, as well as for freight order confirmation perspective. How do we send that one? After the confirmation has happened, right, it automatically it will move to dock appointment scheduling, where the carrier will be going to its tenant dock scheduling, and he will try to schedule take the door, and as well as the respective time which he wanted to update. The moment it gets updated, right, it will goes back and update to the freight order. Then the freight order will be moves to the EWM, and they will do the execution, right. Now when the freight order is set to in execution, right, it will be moves to back to the carrier, where the carrier will give from the departure of the gates to the end customer, right, whatever the data is there, right, that will be given by the visibility provider, or the carrier is being onboarded onto visibility provider network. So carrier will give it to visibility provider, and visibility will give it to LBN. From there it will come back to me as an event. Got it? In the freight order collaboration, we have two things, right? We have, as I said, a tendering, sending an RFQ quotation, processing, okay, and the award confirmation will be done from here. This is from TM to LBN integration. Execution means whatever the real-time execution is there, right? Whenever we send the right order is set to in execution based on the status. So all the milestones, whatever the events are there, that will be reported back to us. there are very few limited events are there. For the realistic one, we need to use the global track and trace, but with the freight collaboration there are few limited events are there. Okay. And the settlement document, so wherein which we will be able to send the self-billing documents. We can do the carrier can send an invoice to us from the LBN collaboration carrier tenant, as well as if there is any difference to the freight order, right, freight order charges, it will create a dispute management where we can do the dispute verification as well as dispute resolution. Okay, for tracking, right, so you will be using this UO stuff, right, or something, right. These are all the visibility service providers, friends. Okay, at this point of time there are so many people are there which are onboarded, and these will be integrated with S4 HANA or any transportation management system. Okay. So here as well we can do this digital freight forward integration. In such cases, what would happen, right, whenever I create a freight order and freight unit in the system, right, automatically this we can send the freight units to the LBN document. LBN will send it to the freight forwarders, and the freight forwarder will plan the freight units into a freight order, and they will give back to the information, by which what will happen that it is going to give me the freight order information as well. So I don't need to plan. So if you are aware of the US situation, right, there are some third party service providers are there wherein which they will do the planning. Okay, they will do the planning, they'll give back me the result. So how does the result will be a routing perspective from the carrier perspective and from the vehicle selection perspective, VSR. Okay, all these things will be done from the external parties which will be integrated through an LBN. So in this case LBN is working as a middleware for you. Got it?
Can you explain this part again?
See what happens, right? Let's take example. If you are aware of the ECC, external shipping transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So what would happen in some of the cases wherein which if we when we don't have transportation management, what we need to do, we used to send the deliveries to as an IDOCs to the third parties, right? The third parties will use the deliveries and plan the deliveries, and they will give me a shipment document, which is an external shipment document, which is an yearly ECC component, right? Normally, now in this case, when we are using TM, it is allowing us to plan. But my case is that my carrier says, I mean, my shipper says that I don't want to plan. There is a third party service provider is there who will do the planning completely, and he will give me the result. He has his own software boss. So in such cases, what we do, we will give the information to him, right? So in my case, for now, the information should be freight unit, right? The moment the delivery is created, freight unit will be automatically created. Now these freight units will be sent to the external service provider. How? Means through LBN. So I will send it to LBN, the freight unit information. From the LBN, it will route back to the third party guy. And the third party guy will receive the XML or API key, because there are API standard APIs are there. The APIs will be consumed by them. Those people will do the planning, and they will create a freight order, right? Or so they'll create the planning. Okay, the result will be sent back to us through an API and will be mapped to my freight order input request. Okay, there is something called a transportation order generic request in. Okay, the message will come to me through LBN, so it will create a freight order for that freight unit. So in such cases, right, we are not doing planning from our end. Simply saying the moment I create a delivery document, automatically freight unit will be generated, and it goes to it goes to LBN, from LBN to third party guy. From there again, the when he plans, right, the result is going to come back to me as a freight order. Got it? We are
Yeah.
not going to use any transportation cockpit. You are not going to do any planning profile, etc., etc. Okay, everything will be done by the third party. Simply saying,
Okay.
you can say that, yeah, I'm going to use for planning, I'm going to use JDA, I'm going to use OTM, I'm going to use Transplace, Blue Yonder, right? Anything. They will do the
So
planning.
you will
They'll give
be
me the result, which is the best vehicle. Yes, please.
sorry. So you will be covering this scenario as well in the course, or
See, I will be covering the data of sending part. Okay, since it's a demo. right, I will not be able to cover the input. I mean, outbound I can cover, but the inbound I can't cover that.
Yeah. Okay.
I will
Thanks.
explain you the process. How do we send it to LBN? Okay, from LBN, how it goes, right? That will I can even explain that one. But the receiver part, if you want to have, right, that we can do. We can use X proxy, and I can able to show you how does it creates. But to show in a real time, right? But the third party guy, we should have an integration with that. We don't have that one in our demo tenant. That's called an external planning, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Now this is the connected fleet, right? Normally, so we can connect with the all the one telemetrics. One second. We can connect with the telemetrics or all the real-time realistic data, right? So all of the data will be connected through with this data third-party service tools, okay, to get the realistic information of the vehicle. So this part is not gonna be covered by us. Just to give you information, okay. Mm, 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 mm. This is for the dock appointment scheduling. Basically, what would happen is that, right, the moment I think this is also not correct. I'll give it from my end now. So we have many components in that one, right? Normally, how do we do the tendering, right? So these are all the basically freight tendering perspective. We will send this ship from a shipper to we will send it to LBN tenant. So what how the tiles will be configured, that I can show you that in that one, and the service mapping will be done by the basis team. Okay, the service mapping, this is from a SOA manager to CPI, CPI to TMS, and how does the monitoring of the messages will be done, that we can see. Okay, that's the log information. Once we do this one, right, so we will send the information and we'll get the award confirmation. Then we will send the freight order to carrier, right? The moment we send it, right, subcontracting status will be set to sent. Then they will give you confirmation. Now the confirmation status will be sent as send confirmation. Okay, confirmed. And these will be connected to the backend services. Okay, there are some, because carrier can do it from here, or carrier can connect to their backend systems. Okay, let's say example DHL. DHL is also having its own SAP system, and they will also connect from their end. Okay, the moment the data comes here, it will send back to them. They will send back from their end. It will send back to from LBN. It will send back to here. So how does the connections will work, right? The same thing will be there for the contracting perspective. So based on our request, right, what we send, they will, these people are exposing the APIs, and the carriers are there who are there, right? Those people will consume this APIs, and they'll give the rates, quotations, as well as their feedback. So TM is gonna expose the APIs from our services, whatever we're gonna do, right? We are gonna expose this one. So till this part, I can show you that. Okay, and we have the standard tenderings. I mean, tiles are available, right, like this one. And this tile configuration, since we are already having those ones, right, based on those ones, how does the feedback will send back to TMS, that will be showed in our sessions. Okay, now when it comes to is all this thing I'm going to cover in that one. So yeah, this is related to the appointments. Okay, so this point will come that, okay, you hope you people are aware of the DAS part. DAS means the doc appointment scheduling. The people who are aware of EWM, they will be very much known about this one. DAS, doc appointment scheduling at the warehouse level. This concept may have the DAS will also has also came into LBN TMS. LBN, because when there was no EWM, there are some cases where people may be using their external TM external EWM warehouses, right? So which is not an SAP based ones. So in such cases, how do we do that one? If I'm using a WM, SAP WM, I'm not using SAP EWM. In such cases, how do I do that one? There are some requirements from the customers to SAP. Now they, what they did is that they created a separate tile for the people, separate component for the people who are not using SAP DAS. So for them, it's a cloud-based one. Now, where in which the moment the freight order is set to execution, I mean, freight order is confirmed, automatically DAS will be activated. From there, the statuses will be sent. Okay. So where they will be the moment the confirmation happens, right? The managed doc appointment will come. So where they will see the confirmation and they'll give back. They will check the appointments. Okay, and they will do the self appointment. If there is also a case of changing or rescheduling from the shipper tenant, from the carrier he can only schedule it. Okay, these are all the events and dates, etc. We can update from the dock appointment. Okay, we have warehouse location, we have loading location, we have door, we have gate. So many things are there. Even we have a gate entry as well for the people of gate, right? So they can also give the gate entry. So for all of those people it is available. So this is given for all the people. Okay, so how do we create the dates, gates, how do we get the locations, etc., etc., we will be able to see in this particular doc settings. That is the one time access will be the, so there are few people wherein which the carriers might not be onboarded. So one time he is going to come to me, right? That's spot tender. When in case of a spot tender, right, he accepted my tender, right? Now he wanted to go for the appointment. In such cases, right, so he will be given a one time URL, so that he can able to log in and he can able to take the appointment. Okay, he don't need to call us and somebody, no, don't need to do that one. In case of a spot tender, he's a one time guy, then he will be we will be able he will be also able to do that one. Okay, so that's for the one time entry part. And there are some more improvements in the 2023 as well. That is a reporting perspective, where in which how does the reporting will work, right? How does the reporting of an event? Okay, again two things here. Carrier will do the, so once the freight order is set in execution, right, the events will be visible to, or the freight order, it goes to the track freight orders tab, right? The tile where in which the carrier can send through a B2B service or from the directly from a UI. The moment they give update the ones, right, automatically the milestones and proof of delivery will go and update in the TM freight order. And we have an attachment facility as well, that also I will show you that. So to give the actual capacity, actual event view, right, that we will be able to see like this one, then it is gonna be we're gonna get the real-time visibility perspective. We're gonna get it from the project 44, any other service provider integration. There are so many marketplace are there, right? But SAP proposes project 44 because they had made so many innovations with those people. Okay, so like this one, how does the integration will work? Okay, so TM we need to onboard project 44 as well. So we, and also we need to make a B2B connections with the project 44 to, I mean, project 44 team will make a connection with the LBN team, shipper technical team, so that all the scats, all the details will go out and they will update the real-time informations. Okay, we will see the geo posting location request, which is which will have the telemetries, mobile device, geolocation, geo posting. We will be able to see in the LBN. We will not show in the bus. We will not able to show this kind of view in the map in the freight order. Remember that one. It will be only available in the LBN freight order reporting tab only, or in execution one only. Okay, how does this will go out? That we can see here. This also supports the LCL and FCL perspective as well. So as I told you, right, freight order LBN is going to support now ocean as well as air as well. So all these things will be supported here. So this is called an experience management from the experience tool, right? So there are some external parties, the other Qualtrics, right? From the Qualtrics account, so we will send the experience the URLs to the carriers so that the carriers can able to give their feedbacks. Okay, yes or no, how does this is the working? The questions are there. These questions will be published, and they are going to give us the, will give a survey will happen. From the survey the results will come. That is in the Qualtrics one. And the last one will be the freight settlement. Okay, the moment the carrier can send an invoice, right? We can create a carrier invoice, or carrier can send an invoice from LBN that goes to shipper. If there is a difference is there, right, that creates a dispute. Okay, if there are no difference, it will be auto approved. If same happens, right, we will raise a self-billing document. Based on the self-billing document, carrier will review and will raise a dispute. Okay, once we agree with the dispute, right, then dispute will be resolved and the freight order charges will be getting updated automatically. That's the same process as we are having in the career collaboration in business suite. There are some more the buttons are view temp features are being different, but all the others are same. There's no other change here. So how do we configure? There are limited conflicts are there, and also some of the dispute management related conflict, career charge related conflicts will be explained to you in the session. Okay, what all the conflicts are needed, that I'll explain you there here. The next one will be global track and trace. Basically, so we have so many things in the global track and trace. Basically, this is and in this one, right? So this whole part works based on the event management. Okay, there is something called an event management, which is which was not available in the S4 HANA early releases, but now they came up with the embedded event management as well. When it was not there, right, what the SAP has done, right, they came up with the GTT, global track and trace. Now the global track and trace, you will extract all the events from the freight order or from this freight unit, right, and we will be tracing that one in the UI or in the GTT. So what would happen that after consumption of this event, we will be sending back to the visibility provider, and visibility provider will give back with the feedback and the live geo positioning as well. Now in that one, we have few standard apps. So the one which I'm telling you, right, pack shipments and monitor inbound ASN. These are all the standard available apps. So which will come from the standard models. We have two types of model: template model, standard model. So one of the template one is this one, friends. Okay, I can track from the ECC or I can track from the TM as well. When I'm tracking from the ECC or from S4 HANA, what would happen that from the all the purchase orders whatever we create, right, those purchase order will go back to LBN as well as an idocs. Okay, idocs will go us out. Based on the idocs, it will create the data here. So these are the track processing IDs. So purchase orders, purchase item will go, inbound documents will go, inbound delivery will go, and shipment will go. In this case, shipment will not be there, as you are aware that we are not going to have shipment. There is no more innovations in that one, right? But for the current users, they gave the shipment. They are also giving the some same kind of thing for the in case of a TM, right, it will be a freight order. Most of the cases, right, whenever the GTT teams are speaking, right, they'll say that shipment. We need to remember that's a freight order for us. Okay, so all the notifications we will be able to see here in that particular one. Okay, all the events whatever are there, right, we will be able to see them here. We will be able to see all the freight orders, each and every event. I can report manually or I can report from the API key. I think that's not required for you now. Once the reports are events are reported, right, same thing is going to be configured here. So all the planned events as well as the actual rewards will be getting updated. Okay, once you report the event in the app, the events will be coming to back to us. So for that one, there is a backend configuration happened between a CPI as well as SAP TM using the SOA manager. We can do for ocean tracking everything, we can do that one. Okay, there is one more thing called the, I think you are aware of the sustainability part, right? So we can also able to determine the carbon dioxide emissions, how much CO2 has been emission. So there is a formula as well as there is a API is also given to provide that one. Okay, how much CO2 has been produced because of this transportation, actual transportation. This is for the standard apps, friends. Okay, standard model, I will say this is the standard model. And this one is the template model. When I say template model reference, we need to use the ABAP GitHub. From the GitHub, the code needs to be we need to have, there are so many backend softwares are there. Those softwares we need to install. Let's say Java, JDK, okay, Maven. There are another few other softwares are there, right? All those softwares you are able to do that one. Then you will be able to upload the model. Then we need to do some changes. Okay, based on those one, the model will be onboarded. So there you can say this one, right? These are the few apps in standard SAP. Three template models are given. This is track sales order is a template, track shipment is a template, track purchase order is a template. So these will be created. If anything is needed, right, we will make a change over here in the templates, or I can create as I want. Again, friends, this onboarding, once the onboarding is happened in the there is separate tenant will be there needed for the GTT as well. Okay, you need to have a space optimization. When you give the space, as well as some RFC connections are also needed with the mm, DevOps functionality. Based on those one, it will come. Okay, in our current one, I'm not going to explain you about the template based model. I'm going to explain you about the standard models, because these needs so much work. These template based models need so much work. It supports the tracking of sales order, tracking of purchase order, tracking of shipment. It will not support you even these two things. Basically, I'll say these two things will not support you TM. This one will support, there is enhancement is there. We This one will support a TM, but these two things will not support TM. That's the reason SAP, there are many complaints are there against these things, right? So SAP came up with the standard model to support SAP TM. So got it? Just to know that one, you can use this one. Okay, and what are the differences between the track sales order tracking and how does the tracking will work? So these are the few things you can able to see that. You can see right from the sales order item level, from the item it goes to delivery, from delivery it goes to delivery item, delivery item to delivery, delivery will be assigned to a shipment, shipment will be assigned to the resource, which truck. In this case it will be a freight order. And we'll also get one more thing, that's a freight unit. Okay, so this is how the whole tracking will happen. So this is what is the normal process. Okay, so again here as well we can report in the shipment, in the normal sales order fulfillment of a template, right? The carrier can do the reporting, but we cannot do the reporting, just we can visualize that one. Or from the track shipment part perspective, there is a third app, right, which is the track shipment. This one, from this one we will be able to upload this one. Okay, try, this is the freight unit integration which was given. Okay, there is one more thing you need to understand. There are custom application objects we need to create from the GitHub, and there are stand custom idocs as well as standard idocs. Shipment 05, there are some idocs are there, right? Those idocs will be used to trigger the to messages to LBN. Okay, there is no service message, just it's a idocs. So in case of a GTI, we are GTT, we are using idocs only. IDOC will send to freight unit. From the freight unit, it will goes back to the visibility provider. I mean, the it goes to GTT. From there, it goes to visibility provider, and the result, whatever comes, right, these events will again come back to update me as an service, which is a event bulk request out, a request in, right. That will be the one which is going to update my freight order booking. Okay, transportation eval bulk request, bulk notification. These are the events will be are going to use in the real time. Sorry, the service we are going to use in the real time. So this is how the experience of the users will be there. Okay, and how this is how the reporting event. Okay, this is the place where we have the at least the feasibility to report the event. We can report the event, we can report the latitude longitudes as well. So the moment the flight unit is integrated, right, we can able to see the event details here. So that is related to the overview, like how does the models will be there, how do we create a model. These things will be covered in your GTT session. So intelligence insights, since we don't have a SAC, we can't able to show you that. Okay, but we will explain you how do we, what all the settings are needed to activate the intelligence insights. Okay, from the tenant perspective. When I say tenant, it's an account. Okay, so these are the few things which we are going to cover in the whole course of our 40 hours. Any questions which you want to ask me, please let me know.
Hi. So you were talking about tracking the shipments both in freight collaboration and also in GTT. So are these functionally the same in both these areas, or is it different?
Different.
So like
When I
what
say
exactly
GTT,
is
right,
it?
it's an event boss. You can write your own custom event. Okay,
But
so
also in freight
GTT
collaboration. Yeah, sorry, go on.
now in the freight collaboration, what is that? It's a global, right? There are 4 5 events which are being given for all the users, for all the ones. Okay, whomsoever is onboarded, right, for them it is a different case because all the carrier will be onboarded over there. So for, let's me, if I'm a customer, right, for a Dr. Reddy's, I'm a customer, I'm a Dr. Reddy's, I'm using three events. If you are a client, if you are from, let's say you are from Amaraja, you are also going to use the same three events. Or if you are going from Shell, right, so many, whomsoever maybe, these three events are going to happen. If you want to have any three new events, it's not possible.
Okay, yeah.
Because if you say the, see, SAP wantedly gave this one with the limited features. The reason is because they wanted to promote GTT. It's also their baby, right? They wanted to promote it with our, so in the GTT, whatever the events you want, you can write that. There is no limitation on that.
Okay, yeah.
Any other questions?
You also mentioned about the visibility providers, right? Like for example, for GTT, we will be using P44 or something. So, will that be covered as well, like where we use P44, or how will that
No,
work?
I believe it is not provided because the thing is that the license, whatever we are procuring, is that only from SAP, right? We are not, again, for that one, right? Again, I need to onboard visibility provider, project 44 as well. That's a separate cost altogether. So
Okay, so
we are
in
not going to go that
GTT,
part.
okay, so in GTT, what exactly would be covered if we are not using P44 or any visibility providers? But all functionalities would be covered in there.
what functionality will be the one, because how do we create a custom event, how do we send the event, how do we get the reporting from the event. If you want, we can give you some of the API keys or some of the JSON files. From the JSON file we can able to update the events. Okay, whenever the visibility provider logins, right, logins, then they will give the file, right. But to provide, to give you a reporting, that we can do it from a JSON file.
And in freight collaboration area, you would be covering the entire functionalities, or will there also be any limitations or anything?
I will not cover the experience management, which is related to Qualtrics. Again, we don't have a Qualtrics account. It's a, again, cost matter. From the whatever is there from the UI perspective will be covered to you. Whatever is there in the freight collaboration UI, that will be covered. Whatever is with the external integration, when I say external integration, it might be external planning, we are not going to cover, because external planning is to have somebody to be onboarded. Then they somebody to be onboarded and integrated. Basically, the data should go to them, they will give me the input that is not available with us now.
Also in the slides, I saw something about REST APIs and all that, but I don't have any knowledge in all those APIs and things. So, do you think a prerequisite knowledge is required in those areas to cover
Not
this
required. Are
topic?
you functional or technical? First of all, let me know
Functional.
that one. Functional is not required, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like for a functional area, so do I need to know all this stuff for this
Not
course?
required. Not required. So till sending to LBN is our responsibility. Mapping is their responsibility from LBN. Okay, that's that's their part. Because there are, if you go to api.sap.com, right, somewhere, so they gave a lot of APIs are been there. Okay, so our job is to provide to SAP. SAP will expose the API, so filling the mapping the data from an XML to API, right. That's a SAP job, not my job. That's the reason we are onboarding, we are paying to them.
Okay, yeah. And this course also includes the complete functionalities for the DAS, right? Or will there be any limitations there?
Yes, yes.
Yes, as in you would cover, or there were limitations?
I would cover the DAS part.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Sorry, just one more question. So this is like you said, it's 40 hours. So is it like only on weekends? And if it's on weekends, like per session, is it like 2 hours class, or how does it work?
It's a 2 hours. Basically, actually, this needs to be discussed with, based on the people's availability and based on the request, right? We need to discuss with Naveen, then we can discuss on that. Is
Yeah,
it a
Shiva,
daily
schedule
session
I'll
will
be
be
updating you by Tuesday or Wednesday, Shiva, because it's a cloud-based server, right? Okay. The cost is very high for the server access, right? So we'll plan according to that, okay? We'll try to have good number of hours per week, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So once I have clarity on the number of participants, okay, by Wednesday I'll give you a confirmation, okay? So we'll try to start from next Saturday itself, okay?
Yeah, okay, Naveen. Thanks.
Yeah, Manish, Ajit, Arshad, any other technical queries for training? Okay then, Rahim, thanks for the demo, Rahim.
thank you very much, thank you all, bye bye.